Hey everybody. Hi, it's Suzanne from Dr. Suzanne Fox Physical Therapy. I am the Skinny and Fit PT, and we are doing these Thursday night podcasts or video chats with Sherry Savarno. Say hi, Sherry.
Hi, how's it going?
Tonight is going great. The weather is perfect out here on the East Coast. It is a gorgeous night. And little Bitsy's here too. So say hi, Bits. Hey, hi, Bits. All right. Tonight, some superheroes wear capes. Others wear aprons. You are not going to believe who our guest is tonight. None other than Chuck Underwood of the Brand New Vegan. Let's say a big welcome to you, Chuck, and we are so thankful that you came on our show and wearing the shirt, Brand New Vegan. Yes, that's it.
Nice shirt.
Thanks. I got it from you. So I just wanted to welcome you to our little video here. And, we had some questions for you about how you got started with this whole enterprise, the Brand New Vegan. So can you tell us a little about your background and how you found the vegan, whole food, no oil added diet?
Okay. So actually, I do have an apron too. I just don't wear it. My background is actually in electronics. I've been in the semiconductor industry since 1983. In a bunny suit in a clean room. That was my first job right out of college. And I worked in Texas at Texas Instruments until 87. I went to New Mexico and I went to work for a little company called Intel. And they transferred me up here to Oregon in 98. I've been here ever since. I'm from Indiana. And I left the industry for good in 99, I thought, and started my own computer store because I really liked being my own boss and I liked helping people. And the recession hit in 2008 and I kind of shut everything down.
It did. That was ugly.
And I realized at that point, because I had been eating so badly, especially having my own shop, fast food every day.
Every day, yeah.
It just hit me that I was fat and I had high blood pressure and I still smoked and I was 40 something years old. I was a heart attack waiting to happen. Definitely. So I started watching those documentaries that were really popular back then. Super Size Me, Food Inc., Food Matters, the older ones. And it was just so interesting. I'm like, why didn't I know this? Why don't anybody, why don't we hear about this stuff? So, and this was back in the early days. There wasn't really plant-based yet. It was just, as far as I knew, everything was vegan. So I started playing with this diet. I had some of the books. I had the China Study and Diet for a New America and Skinny Bitch and Dr. S's book. And then I watched Processed People, and that's where I met Dr. John McDougall.
Oh, yeah.
And his style, his in-your-face style, I loved him. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
So I started playing with my diet. And I just sounded like the right thing to do. And I told my friends at work and my wife and my family, and they just laughed. And my wife basically said, if you're going to be vegan, then you're going to do the cooking because I don't know anything about it. And she threw her apron at me because she wasn't going to do it. And I've been cooking ever since. So that's kind of how I got started. That was in 2008. And I wasn't full. I wasn't 100%. I was just playing around with it. But, the more I did it, and the more I did it consistently, the better I felt.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Now you did have hypertension at one time, and
I still kind of do a little bit. So it got really scary high, and you got to understand that when I worked in the semiconductor industry, I worked night shift. I worked graveyards.
Mm-hmm.
That has a huge, huge impact on your health, especially the older you get, like I was. It got to like 175 over 110.
Okay, that's getting up there. That's definitely getting up there.
I called the nurse's hotline one night before work, and I said, how high does this need to get before I come in? And she's like, now. You need to get here now. So I called in sick, which made them very happy. And I went in, and they put me on a low dose. I don't remember what it was at the time. And it worked. It brought my blood pressure down a little bit. And needless to say, the job wasn't too happy with me. I eventually quit. I went on to work for 2 other companies before I was finally able to quit for good in 2017. I no longer work in the industry. I do the blog full time.
I
Um,
actually watched you go through that process online.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was so exciting.
it was exciting watching it happen.
It's been hard to keep the blood pressure under control. And I think it's just because all the years I had of a really bad diet. It's done a lot of damage and it takes a lot of time to heal completely. So I did a couple of John's Mary minis
Okay,
and
I've seen
they
those.
worked really well. It got down to like 104 over 76, the lowest it's ever
Whoa,
been.
whoa, that's
But
pretty seriously good.
you have to stay on a Mary's mini, and I couldn't do that.
Wow.
So it eventually creeped back up, and now today I take a very low dose. I think it's losartan. It's like 25 milligrams,
Yeah.
and I take that just to keep it right where it's supposed to be, 120 over 80, and it's perfect every time I check it now. And I think eventually my arteries are going to heal, eating the way I do now, and I
Yeah.
can get off of it completely. That's my hope, anyway.
Have you tried the Dr. Esselstyn's the greens several times throughout the day? Have you tried that to bring it down?
I have a hard time with greens. It's a very good idea.
They just taste so
Don't-
gross. That's the problem, you know?
well, the way I used to get my greens was in a smoothie. And of course, we know all the doctors say don't do smoothies.
I actually like them. I actually tell
I-
people to do them.
You know, I've been thinking about doing them just so I could get my greens in.
Yeah,
It's
'cause
really
Dr.
hard for me.
Yeah. Yeah, Dr. Brooke Goldner has that awesome smoothie where 75% spinach, 25% fruit, and a handful of chia seeds. And then I have to put a cup of juice in or I can't make it go down, but then the rest is ice and water. And I mean, if that's what it takes to get them in you, I mean, that's a pretty good way to get them in, you know?
I love my salads, but I'm just lazy to make a big salad and eat it all week long. I'm just basically lazy when it comes to greens, and it's my own fault. But I know that I need to get more greens in.
Yeah.
So I try to add them into my recipes as much as I can.
Yes. How did you get the idea for the name the brand new vegan?
So I had my computer store. It went away. I went back to work. And a couple of years later, my wife had a pretty serious health issue. She had a brain tumor, and she's fine. She's perfectly fine now. But that scared me that it's like, did we cause that with our diet? Because, she ate the same kind of crappy diet I used to eat. So I had those two things, my bad health to begin with, and now hers. And in 2013, the company I was working for merged and said, hey, we're going to lay half of you off. And it scared me. I was 46 years old. I'm like, where am I going to get a job? Who's going to hire me? I'm an old guy, right?
Yeah.
So that was kind of the deciding factor. I'm like, okay, I got to do something. I don't know what. And I had the idea for a blog. I knew that following the bloggers I was following back then, which was Pinch of Yum.
Mm-hmm.
She's a really super popular blogger today. There's Pat Flynn, a pro blogger, Darren Rose. I knew these guys were making it as a blogger. I knew it was a possibility. Maybe one day I could start a blog and have a little bit of money on the side and not have to worry about getting laid off. That was the whole idea. It was a long shot, but I felt like I had to do something. And I started looking for blog ideas. And I'm the one that's doing this crazy diet. I thought maybe other people might be interested in it too. So I was the brand new vegan, and I just looked up brand new vegan on the domain name search one night, and there it was. And so I bought it and started my blog, and I went to work and told everybody I started a vegan food blog. And of course they laughed and they made fun and they poked fun. And one guy used to always, one guy used to tease me a lot. He said, I'm going to start brand new carnivore, because he was a carnivore.
Notice he never did it.
And I said, that's a great idea, do it.
Yeah.
Because blogging, separate from the whole plant-based and the vegan movement, blogging is another passion of mine. I don't work anymore, and he still does. So, whatever.
Just take that to the bank, right, Chuck? That's just the greatest feeling ever.
And the whole, the purpose of Brand New Vegan wasn't about the money. It was just an idea that, maybe one day I might make enough to stash a little money on the side, but I never dreamed it would turn into what it did. The whole idea of Brand New Vegan in the beginning was sharing what I was learning from the documentaries and the books and my recipes that I had come up with because my wife wouldn't cook for me.
Well, you have done a phenomenal job with it. I mean, every single person, I mean, a lot of the doctors, they have these recipes, I don't have to explain. They're like 75 ingredients, and you got some weird thing you're never, ever going to use again. And then you got, it's just weird stuff. So it's nice not to have to, your recipes are actually real, actual food that people can actually eat and enjoy. And you can serve it to all the carnivores in your life, and they won't even realize that they're eating vegan food.
I tell people I make comfort food because that's what got me through it.
Yeah.
We all know how hard it can be to start.
Yeah.
You think you're going to have to give up your meat. You're going to have to give up your cheese. You're going to have to give up everything. And I show them you don't have to give up anything. You can still have your biscuits and gravy. You can still have your chili.
That's right.
And I figured out how to make it only healthier. And that's kind of turned into what Brand New Vegan's all about, is comfort food.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you want to ask the next question there, Sherry?
Oh, sure. So are you doing any type of exercise now?
I do. I try to walk every morning. I live on a hilly neighborhood, and we got some pretty steep hills. So I try to go out for my walk every morning. I don't always make it, but I try to. And then I just recently got introduced to a guy named Diamond Dallas Page. He's a pro wrestler, and he started a yoga program. It's called DDP Yoga.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. He has that one guy on there that went from enormous to very healthy. Yeah, and he does those too, doesn't he? I mean, when you see it on social media, they tend to emphasize the yoga aspect, but he actually did plant-based as well.
He does a lot of plant-based recipes. I think they throw in some chicken or something for protein, of course, because the fitness people do that. But I don't know. I saw that. I think it was Arthur video you're talking about, and it just like, wow, I got to try that. So I bought the DVDs, and I do them not nearly as much as I'd like, but I do have them, and I try to get a workout every now and again. That's my exercise. I spend a lot of time.
Good.
Pardon me?
I said that's good.
Most of the time I'm sitting right here in front of this computer, though, and that's not nearly enough exercise.
Maybe get one of those standing desks.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah. So how does your family feel about all this? Does your family eat a vegan diet along with you?
My family is a mixed bag, just like everybody else's, it seems. I have two sons who are both keto. I got another son who's on a very limited budget, so he eats what he can afford. And my wife and daughter are very much into personal fitness. They go to a personal trainer. And so, sometimes they can push the protein powders and the protein shakes and that kind of stuff. So none of them are vegan, but my wife and daughter are close.
Yeah, because living in your house and you're doing the cooking. Yeah.
Yeah. My daughter's moved away since, but my wife loves my cooking. But if we go out to eat or if she's traveling alone, she'll eat whatever she wants.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, yeah. My husband is a vegan while he's home. But if he's out with his friends, I think he has a little bit of cheese now and then. But for other than that, he's pretty much vegan. So, I think he doesn't ask too many questions. He doesn't eat animals, but he doesn't ask too many questions about the food if he goes out. He's not like me, all, hey, what's in this? I do that all the time. He doesn't do that. So, yeah.
I'm lucky that they love my cooking, and my wife doesn't like spicy. So sometimes if I make something a little spicy, I might get a little pushback on that. But for the most part, she loves what I make.
Yeah, well, it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, every single recipe of yours that I have tried has been absolutely fantastic. It works out really well, and it tastes good. Everybody likes it, and they keep coming back.
You.
So that's good. And I can see we're getting some comments on here. People are, I love your recipes, Chuck. There's a lot of that.
Thank you.
So yeah, definitely people really enjoy them. Now, are you active in the whole food vegan scene out there in Oregon at all?
It's been hard, and I've told people that it shocks me, one, that I ever made it this far in the blog. This was supposed to be just a little side project to begin with. I never dreamed it would be my full-time job. But then I said it's how odd it is that so many people around the country, and even I get comments from Australia and all kinds of weird
All over
places.
the world. Yeah.
Nobody in Oregon knows I exist. So I've been working on that. I do attend the Northwest Veg, which is a very big vegan organization, nonprofit here in Portland.
Mm-hmm.
And they have the Veg Fest every year. They sponsor the medical conference every year.
Yeah.
And I've gone to the last two. So I got to meet Dr. Joe Kahn, my buddy. I got to meet Dr. Craig McDougall. He was actually my primary care doctor for a little bit.
Oh, what happened? Did he leave the area or something?
He left Kaiser.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
I got to meet Ann Esselstyn.
Nice.
I walked up to her all starstruck and I said, "Hi, Jane. It's so great to meet you." And she just laughed. Jane's my mom. And like, oh, I felt like about this big. I got to.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That took
Anyway,
me.
last year, her dad, Dr. S himself, he was here. I got to meet him. I got my book signed by him. And
Nice.
and then I turned around and there's Chef AJ. And we sat down and talked for a little bit.
Wow.
So I think that's where the lady who called me just recently met me or found me is because I attend the conferences and I get this phone call. Would you be interested in having lunch with me and my husband? We'd like to invite you to be our speaker at one of our Northwest Veggies potluck. Sure.
Oh my gosh. Here it goes.
So-
That's it, Chuck. We'll say we knew you when. You're about to hit it, buddy.
I don't know. I don't know.
Awesome. Now, are you ever planning on making a paperback copy of your cookbook at all?
I talked to my good friend, and she's a dear friend and my mentor, Susan from Fat Free Vegan.
Mm-hmm.
She helped me a lot when I first got started. And I asked her, do you get asked the same question I do about the cookbook all the time?
Inquiring minds
And
wanna know.
she does. And it's like either we focus our attention on our blog and our recipes or we focus the attention on the books.
Okay.
It's hard to do both. I want to do a paper book.
Mm-hmm.
I actually talked like we are now with Tim Kaufman
Yeah.
just a couple weeks ago from
Yeah.
Fat Man Rants.
Yeah.
And he kind of gave me some secrets. When I talked to Chef AJ, she told me some of her secrets.
Good.
So there is a book coming. I just don't know when. I may do an ebook later this year just to get something new out. But
Yeah.
as far as a paper book, I can't tell you when yet, but I do want to.
Yeah, because the cookbook format, it just lends itself so well to the paperback or something that you can actually take into the kitchen and open up on the counter. A lot of people just like to have it in their hand,
I know. So many people have begged me for it, and
Yeah,
it's
'cause
not
when
that
you
I'm
have an
blowing them
ebook,
off.
it's difficult. Yeah. When you have that ebook, it's difficult to find the recipe you were looking for, and it's just a little bit difficult,
So it's not like I'm ignoring people. I hear what they want. It's just one, I've never done it, and two, I know it's going to take a lot of time, and it's going to take a little bit of money, and it's like, let me concentrate on what I know how to do right now, and then eventually I'll get there.
Yes.
I like ebooks though.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Well, I can't tell you how happy we are that you came and joined us tonight. Do you have any other things that you'd like to say on our little show here?
You skipped a question.
Oh, which question is that?
Number 4.
Number 4. Oh, yes. Please tell us about your social media involvement. How many Facebook pages do you have?
Well, that was just so pleased so I could shout out to my friend Susan.
Absolutely. Shout it out. Shout it out. This is your.
Yeah, she's the one that really helped me get started. So thank
Who
you,
did that?
Susan. Susan Boyson from Fat Free Vegan.
Very nice. Very nice.
So back in 2015, when I was still nobody, I was desperate to learn everything I could. So I formed Plant-Based Recipe Bloggers. And that's a Facebook group that people could come join. There's about 10,000 people. And I purposely teamed up with people like Will Krisky, remember Potato Strong?
Yep.
And Brandy from the Vegan 8 and Susan. Not so much just to get exposure for myself, but so I could pick their brain and learn how to be a blogger like they
Absolutely.
were. And it worked really well. So obviously I'm still here, and some of them are no longer in the group, but Susan's still there, and she still helps me even today. And
well, we all help each other.
We do, and that group
Yeah.
back then was really my introduction into learning who was who in the business, and getting all the help I could get. Back in 2016, I wrote it down. Oh, early 2018, I got put in Facebook jail because I was putting too many recipes in too many groups all at once.
Wow.
And these were other groups, not my own. So Facebook basically said, we can't post anything that's not your group or that you're an admin of the group. So I said, fine. I created another group. I made my own group. So I have the brand new vegan community group.
Yep.
And that's just about to hit 12,000 people.
Yeah.
And that was just a year
Wow,
ago.
that's great.
Yeah. You've done phenomenally with it.
Congratulations.
Well, I'm going to also give a shout out to my two dear friends and my admins, Trish and Kim. They helped me keep that group going, and they do a wonderful job. I couldn't do it without them.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's so nice to have people that are helping you. That's really good. I mean, we just want you to just sit in the kitchen and just keep creating recipes. And
I got to work on that.
Yeah, your YouTube videos are amazing. They're just so informative. They're funny, but they're very good. I love them.
The whole YouTube thing was, I know video is the way to go, and I have to get more involved in video, and I'm working on it. I'm shy. I don't like being in front of a camera, but
Yeah.
my YouTube videos show that. You'll see my hands. You won't see my face. But I took that from Chef John of Food Wishes. He's the same way. I love that guy on YouTube. I've learned a lot of cooking skills from him.
Yeah.
And actually, a couple of my readers have told me that because I kind of like imitate him when I first started, they now call me the Food Wishes of the vegan world, which is like the best compliment ever.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I do love him. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do kind of favor him now that I'm thinking about it. You sure do. But I love your videos. I think you're doing phenomenally. Like I said, you're a superhero in this vegan
Oh, thank
world.
you.
Just making such a difference. It's such
Got
a
about 5,000. Got about 5,000 subscribers. It's slow, but it's growing.
Yeah, 5. That's good. You're doing
good.
Fantastic. You really are.
So I concentrate on Facebook, and I concentrate on YouTube, and I used to have the podcast. We talked about that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of running out of time to do a podcast too. And I need to learn how to get the software set up like you have for this. And
Yeah.
I was supposed to interview Dr. Joe Kahn, and I still want to do that one day. I just don't know how.
Well, you're on it right now. This is all you do. You just sign up for this, and there you go. It's easy like that.
All right.
Yeah, we can
Okay.
help you with that.
Yes.
Good. So maybe we'll do some more podcast stuff. You mentioned Instagram. I don't really do a lot with it. Neither do I do anything with Pinterest. I just don't have time.
Yeah.
And I know I get I get that instant reaction from Facebook, and I can get into my group and I can talk to the people. And to me, that's a lot easier than trying to fumble around Instagram. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm lazy and I just don't do it.
Well, the other one's just taking up all of your time. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. You're already so successful with that one. You're so busy with that one.
Facebook has been very good to me. So
Yes. Facebook is amazing. We're having this conversation right now because of Facebook. It's amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much. We really, really
you.
appreciate you coming on here, and we will share this far and wide on all of our stuff. And I'm sure we'll send you a link and you'll see it, and feel free to share it as well.
Thanks, Chuck.
New recipe this weekend.
That's great. That's right.